and I'm going to tell you about my bear hunt. First of all, I want to tell you a little back history here. In 1964, we finished the Glen Canyon Dam in Page, Arizona, and I got a call from Goldendale, Washington, offering me 6 years of work if I would take the job as foreman over the all-steel fabrication for the John Day Dam. That dam is just about 12 miles from Goldendale, and they were just starting it, and it's on the Columbia River. And that is the reason I moved back to Washington. As you know, that is where I was born. As there were no Southern Baptist churches in Goldendale at that time, so we went to a little town of Klickitat, to where they had a Southern Baptist church down there. And they're 22 miles away, and about halfway between Goldendale and Klickitat, in the foothills of the Simcoe Mountains, there was a family that owned a ranch. And they asked Betty and I to have dinner with them at a future date. And so when the time came, we were there, and so after dinner, he took me around, showed me the place, and he showed me a couple of bear rugs, and I told him that I had killed several deer, but I'd sure like to kill a bear. This man's name was Grover Riley. He told me to be there at 2 p.m. next Saturday, and he would take me on a bear hunt. And folks, here is all about my bear hunt, and I am not going to dress it up any, because there's nobody could think up such a thing as what happened to us. But I thought it was worth telling, so I'm going to tell it, and if you like it, I'll be glad. If you don't like it, why, you'll have it anyway. So, 2 o'clock on a Saturday, I pulled up in the yard. Grover was standing by his old Studebaker pickup. He said for me to grab my rifle and shells, and that was all that I needed. That he had everything else, so we went about 2 miles west, and then we turned south on an old logging road, and we went about a half a mile. Then it was all grown up. There was a small clearing spot there, so Grover said, get out, and we walk about a mile through the timber, and we will be there. He told me to get his rifle and mine and carry them, and he would bring the bait. And that was the first time I knew that we even had bait. I didn't know what we had. So he got a gunny sack out of the cab and went to the back end of the pickup, and there was a crate like they used for cabbage. He had tame rabbits, and they had a disease, and he had to kill them. Well, he had 24 of these rabbits in this crate. And so he said, we'll take 12 of them today, and if we don't get a bear, we would put the other 12 in a cool place and use them next Saturday. After about a mile, we came to a clearing. He said, this is it. I would say it was about 3 acres, and on the opposite side was a great old big ponderosa pine. And he told me to go over there and sit tight against it. And he said, don't you move, and a bear will never see you. And so with that, I went over there, and I got all ready. And he said, don't move unless you're getting ready to shoot it. If I didn't move, the bear would never look my way. He went along on the other side and was cutting those rabbits open and slinging their insides out and laying them on the rabbits on limbs or brush or anything he could find just to scatter them out. And then he gave me the signal, and he took his stand. About an hour or so after I had sat there, all of a sudden I smelt something. I knew it was a bear, and I knew it wasn't very far away. And so I knew it was close. So the scent was there, for about 15 minutes. And I was all ready with my gun. I figured he was circling and would go to one of the rabbits. Well, the scent left, and that was the last I smelled. We stayed there until it was getting late. Grover came out and said we had better go. For some reason, I walked around that big tree, and on the other side was a game trail, and the deer had it all chopped up, and it was good and loose. And there they were, as plain as day. One large bear track and one medium size. It was either a sow with a part-grown cub or a big old boar and a sow. We'll never know. That big bear had left the path and made one step to the side of the tree. Possibly he was looking at me, and then backward and got back on the trail and went on up the trail. If I had have looked around, I would have more likely looked him in the eyeball. And so I called Grover over, and he said it was a good thing I didn't move. That close, I couldn't be able to shoot it, and he would possibly have got scared and attacked me. Well, we followed those tracks for a while, then headed for the pickup. We soon came to it, and I looked down and I said, Grover, look all around this pickup. There were the same bear tracks, one big one, one medium, and as I walked around the pickup, I noticed the crate had been moved. I looked and it was empty. Every rabbit had been eaten. You could see where the bear had climbed up into the pickup, and they climbed up into that pickup, ate the bear, while we were out there all nervous, and they were climbing up in this pickup and ate 12 rabbits. By this time, it was dusk. Grover opened his door to get in. I said, hold it. I think I heard something. He said, I didn't hear anything. What did it sound like? I said, I don't know, but I think it was two bears laughing. He said, get in. When we got to his place, he said he had another idea up his sleeve. Well, when I got home and told Betty what had happened, she said it was a good thing that that we didn't get any, because she wouldn't have a bear rug to catch dust and dust and dirt in the house anyway, so forget it. The next time I saw Grover, I told him Betty didn't want a bear rug, and I wouldn't kill a bear just to kill it. Besides, no one could ever give me a bear hunt like the one he gave me. I would have dressed it up a little bit, but folks, I'll tell you, the truth was more fun. Then I could think of, and knowing that I was within at least 24 inches of a wild, live bear, how could I ever hope to get a better bear hunt than I had that day? And so I just hope you enjoy it. But folks, that was my bear hunt, and that was the way it ended up. And anyway, I have often thought about it and had a lot of laughs over it, and I've enjoyed it. And so I hope that you'll enjoy it. Folks, that's about all I had to say, but I just thought maybe you'd enjoy it, and I wanted to tell it while I was able to tell it, and let you folks see some of the things. I've had so much experience out in the woods and out in the timber and with animals and the beauty, and I enjoy it. So I hope you do. That's all I had to say. So with that, I'll say good night.